Fountain Valley is the last school for, our event. So as I mentioned previously, it's a boarding school from Colorado, offering grades from 9 to 12th grade. Your schools have over almost 100 years old history. I know the campus is very big. It's located in Colorado. So really appreciate your time and to present to us today. Miss Lindsay Ratliff is the Director of Enrollment Management at Fountain Valley School, and also we have Xiu Ying is a Chinese teacher here tonight, to present about Fountain Valley to everyone. So I understand, Xiu Ying, you wanted to kind of translate while Lindsay is going on going with the slides.
可以，好的。Yeah, I will try my best.
Yeah, sure. We also have the, caption function, turn on. So while Lindsay is talking, it will automatically generate the translation. But definitely, we like you to kind of emphasize more and also share more from your personal experience.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And I figured too, at the end, if we have time for questions, that way families can feel comfortable asking them in Chinese, and Xu Ying can really take point there.
Wonderful. Yeah, you can, share your screen if you want.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you.
Yes. So can everyone see this okay?
都可以看到吗？
Good. So my name is Lindsay Ratliff, and I'm the Director of Admission at Fountain Valley School. And, what is unique about, my background personally is that I have been working in boarding schools for 20 years, and this is my 4th boarding school. So what I want to share with you tonight is sort of what makes, I think, Fountain Valley unique and distinctive compared to all of the other wonderful boarding schools in the United States.
Lindsay, do you want me to translate of this, or?
What do you think? I think maybe I'll try to just go through the presentation and then, allow you to answer the questions at the end, Xu Ying.
Okay, sure.
And hopefully this works, but we have a quick video. Maybe. There we go. So, something that I think is very unique is our architecture. And you saw some of this through the beginning introduction video, but all of our buildings on campus are sort of this Adobe Western Pueblo look, because we are in sort of the western part of the United States. And that is something that we really value and cherish, and are, incorporating sort of the American West into our culture and into our curriculum. Fountain Valley is a smaller school, so we have 240 students total, of which 70% are boarding. This year we have 23 countries represented and about 65 international students total. China is our largest group. We've got about 25 students from China at Fountain Valley, and they have done, wonderful things and have some really great accomplishments. This is, again, looking out over our 1,100 acres I think it's over 600 hectares of space that we have, and we look out at Pikes Peak. So if you see that mountain way in the back, that is actually the first 14,000 footer in the Rockies. And so we make sure that our students are not only learning in a traditional classroom, but getting out on our 1,100 acres and learning about the flora and fauna and, some of the water rights that come through our campus, which right now, at least in the United States, is a very important topic. Colorado Springs is a major city in US standards. We have 750,000 people. We're about an hour and a half from the Denver International Airport. But as someone who travels a lot, and I can share that, I love personally flying in and out of the Colorado Springs Airport because it's 8 minutes from our campus. I do Colorado Springs to Dallas and then Dallas to almost anywhere in the world. Or, you can also do Colorado Springs to even Denver and then anywhere into the world. So I think that's a really unique perk, is having a boarding school only 8 minutes from a large airport. We also really value, attracting and retaining strong faculty members. So 95% of our faculty live on campus. Among the 1,100 acres, we have, faculty units around the campus that are able to really bring that community and family atmosphere. On the 1,100 acres is also 12 miles of trails for horseback riding, mountain biking, cross-country running, and really just taking advantage of the outdoor space. We also have a second campus, which is 2 hours west in a town called Nathrop, which very strategically sleeps 90 students so that we can bring a whole class, the 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade class with faculty members, and be able to spend time for our Western immersion program or our 9th grade retreat or our senior retreat. And so we're able to have kind of the best of both worlds, being right near a major city and then being in the mountains for skiing and other great activities, whitewater rafting. This is actually a picture from our mountain campus. So sometimes we will take the whole class to the mountains and again, get you out of the traditional classroom and give you some exposure to, life in Colorado. If you look at the history of the United States, Colorado is a very important state with sort of the gold rush and other reasons that attracted people out this way. Just quickly, our mission statement, but I think really, sort of courage, compassion, curiosity, self-reliance, and open-mindedness is what we value. We really want, especially our international students, to come to the United States and try something new, kind of expose yourself to skiing if you've never tried it, or, don't be afraid to start a new club. Or try out for our robotics team, right? We want to push you and explore you into a different direction. I love our dorms. So these are actually a picture of our dorms. We have 10 dorms on campus that to me feel more like homes. So they have 16 to 22 students in each dorm. You walk into a large common area. We have full kitchens. So again, it's very common for our international students to bring their favorite food from home, be able to cook a snack after study hall, or even cook a snack and, share it with their roommate and other students in the dorm to expose your food and culture from home. And all of our dorms are doubles, and we have a handful of triples. So we really value teaching you the skills of how to live and engage with each other. Just a quick picture of what the inside of the dorm room looks like. And then sort of a fun activity in the common room that we celebrate and bring people together for birthdays, for special events. And maybe Miss Tan, I'm going to stop talking and let you share a little bit of what you did this past weekend with our students with the moon cakes.
OK，好的，Yes, sure，对，因为是这个中秋节嘛，快到了，哦，其实就今晚了，在中国的话，对对对，对，上个星期呢，我们在学校组织了一场就是冰皮月饼，学生我们的Asian Alliance Club 就是亚洲联盟 Club 呢，我们自己的学生在做月饼。然后呢，邀请全校的学生一起过来吃，他们都做得很开心，很有成就感。
Thank you, Shuying.
Mhm.
And then here's just a little taste of our academic program. So for being a small school, we have over 120 different courses at the advanced and honors level. We offer the AP test in May, so students can take that right on our campus. And, what we have really done is built a 4-year curriculum to build upon each other. So our 9th graders all take really focus on the West. So they take ecology, the American West, and sort of literature of the West. And it's all interconnected so that what you're learning about in English overlaps with history and connects to ecology. So it's a really team-based model, and a lot of off-campus trips so that our students are getting exposed to Colorado, this place, this space, and learning about what is so unique. What I always love is that Colorado has, I think, 3 boarding schools in the whole state. And so it's a place that you can really be unique and distinctive and be yourself. Then our sophomores, we take all the information that we taught you about the West and kind of how we expanded, and then connect it to the globe, right? So that you realize how water rights are also connecting the world and making us an even smaller place. The 11th grade year is really finding your voice, learning about leadership, stepping into roles as RAs in the dorm, as club leaders, as Shuying mentioned, the Asian Alliance, maybe as peer tutors, and just different ways that you can start to help us transform the community. And then senior year, all of our students are required to do a capstone project, where that's really a passion project. So you pick a topic of your interest, do some research, work on a presentation, and that kind of acts as your final project for the year for our seniors. We also have some great exchanges. So we do sort of these short-term 6-week exchanges through Round Square. So if you've decided maybe you want to explore and try to learn in another country, we have that opportunity for you. Quick sample of our schedule, just so you can see. We have 2 classes in the morning, 2 classes in the afternoon, all 70-minute long. And this gives you a perspective of, the big difference, I think, between, your academic schedule in China compared to the United States. Some fun classes of students really getting involved. This is a dissection. And then just different ways that we pull the community together for engagement, interaction, celebration. And I think hopefully you get a sense of the diversity in this picture. And then kind of highlighting our Western emphasis and some of the, extracurriculars that you get to do. We want to make sure that our students are getting outside. I always love the pictures of our blue skies. And the truth is we have over 300 days of sunshine in Colorado. And so this is what you look at most of the time, these blue skies and being able to engage in the outdoors. So we have some distinctive athletics through that program. We've got rock climbing, mountain biking, English and Western riding. We even have an outdoor education group. We've got on the weekends trips to go fly fishing, to go hiking and be outside, camping outside. as well as we have a phenomenal 5-year-old new athletic center that has swimming, diving, basketball, volleyball for both boys and girls, as well as the largest indoor rock climbing wall in a high school in the United States. And then we really emphasize the arts. All of our students have to participate in at least 3 courses of the arts. This can be visual, this can be performing. We also have music groups and orchestra and different instrumental groups that you can join. We do a theater performance every season, so fall, winter, spring. You have to do an activity after school, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a sport. We really want you to, find your passion and follow it through. The picture of the owl at the end is our really unique metalsmithing class that you can really do some 3D arts, as well as we have ceramics and sculpture. And then this is just a sampling of where our students have gone over the last 5 years. I think it's a really impressive list. And again, it shows you some of the distinctive characteristics of our international students. They tend to kind of go to the coasts after Colorado. They tend to like California. They tend to like New York, and that is common among our domestic students too, right? They've enjoyed their time in the mountains. They've loved this outdoor atmosphere, but they tend to kind of then go onto the coasts. So this is just a sampling of where they've gone. And then, of course, I have to show a picture of the snow, because I do want you to know that, we do have the winter. I don't think it's very cold, but, what is fun is we often will wake up to snow in the morning. And then because we're at such high elevation, it melts by the afternoon. So when we do get the snow, the students love to get outside and take advantage of it. This is actually right by our dining hall and hacienda space where our international students enjoy coming for the admissions office and playing the piano. So this is just a quick shot of our winter. And then here's my contact information. So, I'm hopeful, and I see some things in the chat. So I'm going to see, Shuying, can you see the chat box and maybe answer the questions if they're Fountain Valley specific?
Yes. Here's 2 questions. The first question is asked, do we accept the 10th grade student who study in the international school in Shanghai?
Yeah, so we do have space in grade 10. It is competitive, but we tend to take, 1 or 2 in the 10th grade year that are male and that are female.
Mm-hmm. And the second question is asked, can you introduce a little bit about our horse riding class?
Yeah. So it's, really unique. So we have beginner, intermediate, and advanced. English is what, I think most people are most familiar with, where it's kind of hunter jumper. And so you learn to kind of canter and trot and jump with your horse. We do have competitive teams in our equestrian horseback riding program. So we're part of what we call IEA, which stands for the Interscholastic Equestrian Association. And so they probably have a competition at least every 2 to 3 weeks during the fall season. But we offer riding year round. So, if this is something that you've never done, I always tell students the best way to start is actually our Western program, because the Western program really teaches you how to get comfortable riding a horse, sitting in the saddle comfortably. And to be very honest, the Western saddle is actually more comfortable. So, the Western program is a great way to start. It is also competitive, but they're the ones who are doing more trail rides around campus. It's a little bit more casual. maybe you're not learning to jump right away. And then if you decide you're really passionate about the equestrian program, you can switch over to the English and start to learn how to jump and canter and do the more advanced work. So.
Thank you, Lindsay. I just saw the number 3 question and the 4th question is pop up. And the 3rd question is about, can you introduce our nonprofit charity project or program?
Yeah, great question. So, I will share that this is a program that we've kind of resurfaced, the last couple years. Rightfully so, the student body and our campus was really focused on keeping our students healthy and safe. This year, we now have a community partnership where we are volunteering with 4 local companies. I know the Ronald McDonald House is one. I know sort of our Humane Society, also a local shelter we volunteer for. And so on the weekends, students are encouraged and allowed to sign up for these community service trips. They're usually on Saturday, but sometimes they might fall on a Sunday as well. But most of them do happen on Saturday. And I should mention that we don't have Saturday classes. We're a Monday through Friday academic program. So Saturdays are really used for community service, some of these more outdoor adventurous sports, so skiing in the winter. I think I mentioned this weekend we have a group going hiking and camping overnight. So I hope that answers. And then I'm happy to answer the 4th one because I see. So we are very excited this summer. We are starting, so fresh, brand new, our summer session, which will be 2 weeks or 4 weeks in the month of July. So it's pretty much, I think, like June 30th, you arrive and then depart like July 30th. If you're here for 4 weeks, and it's for students who are age 11 to 16. It is like a hot off the press program. So we just added it on our website. If you scroll to the admissions part of our website, you'll see it at the bottom. So that is definitely a great way to come and explore. And I know that they're going to be doing whitewater rafting and getting into the mountains on the weekends.
Well, great. I think it's even though not many questions here, but I also wanted to ask some questions on behalf of the family. I know some questions might be common. Some parents might be just shy. It's early in the morning and it's holiday. They might not typing the question in the meeting chat, but I just wanted to ask a few questions on behalf of the like the family as well. So I know not many, some family might not be very familiar with Colorado, especially the Colorado Springs, the city. So could you maybe share more about what kind of a city, environment? Weather-wise, I think it's a little bit mellow. But you mentioned that you do get snow. I know Colorado is the famous resort for skiing. So yeah, just maybe give everyone a little bit more information about the life there overall.
Ying, I'm going to let you take this one because I think you can do a great job,
Thank you. Yes, I do have so many things I want to share about Colorado because that's a new city and exciting city for me too. So I'm going to speak in Mandarin. 对，我以前呢是住在康州，就是在美东的。我在康州住了10几年。3年前呢，我是搬到来科州，就住在学校里面。这个州呢，不是这个镇呢，这城市呢，我们叫科泉。科泉呢，我觉得就是以前在康州就很适应那些海呀，就是还有那种潮湿的气候。然后来到这呢， 它就很多山呀，我们常常周末的时候呢，我们就去爬山，还有很多很漂亮的湖，我们去 kayak，kayak 中文是什么呢？嗯，那个小船，爬船。
划
啊，
船的湖。
对对，爬船，对对。然后呢，这里呢有一家挺大的亚洲超市，离我家，那我家就学校嘛，那离学校大概是15分钟。那我们离 Denver，是比较大的一个城市，是科州最大的城市，是1个小时。如果你要去到城市的中心，就是1个半小时。有好几家很大型的亚洲超市，我大概就是每2个星期啊，每1个月大概就这样，我就去那里购物一次，都可以满足我这个中国胃。对，还
Great.
有
还是很便利的
And I
哈。
saw there's a question in the chat box. Maybe I'll answer that one quickly. You know,
Okay, sure.
we do offer it's need-based financial aid for international students, but I would say it's very competitive. So we switched to a new platform this year called Clarity. Maybe I'll type it into the chat box. But it's a great platform, very easy to use, but it's just extremely competitive for need-based financial aid for international students. And a lot of that has to do with we want to set our families up for success, and it is very challenging to get a scholarship or need-based aid in a college in the United States.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, it's not usual. I know most of the school wouldn't consider, the financial aid for international student. I think that's really special. And another reason for some family to consider, like your school. And, through your presentation, I really feel like it's very, like a close community, a lot of, activities, particularly, student, if they really like horseback riding or like enjoy, skiing. I think there is a lot of activities in the nature that's pretty unique. Um, so I know we mentioned about talked a little bit about the Colorado Springs city. So um, I wonder if there's a specific number you're looking for this year. I know you mentioned a little bit about 10th grade. What about 9th grade? How many students you are looking for from China?
Yeah, so we usually bring in 3 or 4 males and 3 or 4 females in our 9th grade class. This year's 9th are, again, we're small, so our 9th grades are smallest. This year we have 46 9th graders, and we usually graduate about 60 to 65 students. That's why we have that space in 10th grade. I would say my goal for this year, and it continues to be to bring in 50 to 55 new 9th graders. So, it's always about fit and making sure that there is diversity within that class.
Okay, sure. So I understand, probably there is no minimum like requirement in terms of the, scores, um, particularly, English proficiency score, but is there like like average, for example, for the student who, enrolled to your school previously? Maybe just give us, sense to the parents who are listening. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So I think another unique feature about Fountain Valley is that we do offer ELL, English language learning. We offer that at both level 2 and level 3. So sometimes we find that our international students need to come in and have just a little bit of support, especially in writing. Their speaking tends to be solid, but their writing and reading skills need some support. So we do offer ELL. So our average scores are probably going to be lower than some schools because of that. I always tell families kind of a 90 and above, puts you in a good position to be discussed as a potential applicant. For 10th grade, obviously a little bit higher, probably 95 to 100 on the TOEFL. And then we do accept the TOEFL or the Duolingo, I'm sorry, as well. And so that, again, is kind of at that 110 mark for 9th grade.
Yeah. Well, I think, this EL program definitely can help. Some family would think like maybe my kids got, TOEFL like 90 or 100, they don't need a support, and not necessarily. Test is test, I would say. If school can offer extra support, why not? Because in terms of English, the writing part, for sure, I feel for a lot of international students, if they don't really had experienced a very strong writing program back in China, that could be like a challenging part for them, especially when they take liberal arts, history, like some more advanced English course, literature. Definitely, access support, I think it's fantastic. Just help them to really strengthen that skill. That skill is important when they go to college, right? They might need to write a lot of a paper, and I think that's great.
And
Yeah.
I mean, Shuying can probably share more about this, but I'm always impressed with the number of our international students who are in some of our advanced and honors English and history courses by the time they're in grade 11 and grade 12. And that's because they get that, support in grade 9 and 10 to give them that strong foundation and confidence to excel. So thank you for saying that, because we always get some pushback from families every year, but I think it actually just really helps them accelerate later on.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's extra support. It's not like I understand the definition is not required for everyone, but it's good. There's option, right? If student really wanted to advance their skill, I mean, why not? I think that's fantastic. Yeah.
And Cindy, I think there's one more question that I see about, is a parent interview required? I would say if we're doing our interview virtually, then no. It tends to be at times where, it's late at night or early in the morning for the students. And so, we know that parents are busy, hopefully sleeping or getting ready for work. If they happen, and I know we're already seeing a couple families coming to campus this year to visit, which is wonderful to see that changing now, finally. If a parent comes to campus, of course, we are going to have, I would say, more of a parent conversation. And so if, the parent needs help with translation, we'll have their child be in the room with them, but we want to make sure we're answering their questions too. But the interview is not a requirement. It's more of a conversation in person, and then virtually, no.
Yeah, that's pretty common for most of the boarding school. I guess, it's boarding, and the student needed to show more, initiative, and also share more about themselves. Yeah, definitely. I think we, even I feel like because we don't have that many questions. I think the presentation itself already covered, very detailed information about school, so we can try to wrap this up earlier, because I know, Lindsay, you just came back from a trip. You need some sleep, and it's like a late, at night already. And yeah, I mean, like I don't know if Xiuying, you have any, last, maybe sharing to any family in Chinese. Otherwise, we can just wrap this up. But if any family has a further question, definitely we can, like forward that information to your office attention. So Lindsay, you want to say something?
I was just going to say, Shuying, do you see that last question? Maybe you can
Yeah.
incorporate it into what you're going to say. Perfect.
Yes, I saw the last question. It's actually, I want to share a couple of my opinion as the parents, not a faculty, because my son's in this school too. So as a parent's angle, I do have so many good things want to share too. Okay, I'm going to speak in Mandarin, okay, Lindsay?
Of course.
对是我有2个儿子老大呢就是今年9年级的学生我们其实还有一个很重要的理由，为什么从美东搬到这儿来呢？是我希望我的儿子在寄宿学校上课。我在美东的时候呢，也是做中文老师，在一家私立的学校，是走读的私立学校教了8年。然后呢，我们搬到这里来是因为我的工作，是因为这个寄宿学校，我是希望我的儿子能在寄宿学校。那然后呢，我发现这个寄宿学校它很大的优点，它的小，就是学生的数量不多，这是呢成为我很重视的一个优点为啥呢？是因为它每一个年级就是大概就是50人，高年级、12年级跟9年级的学生就混得很好，他们就没有那个我是学长呀，你是学弟啊之类的那种身份，就是每一个很多活动，例如说我们的 advisory group 都有一些混着的，就是有一些低年级的学生、高年级的学生一起合作做很多活动，还有一些课我们也可以混着来上。所以呢，有很多时候呢，高年级呢可以带动的这个低年级，这是第一第二呢，就是因为我们学校它的地很大，但是学生 body 就是学生的数量很少，所以呢，每个人呢都很亲密，很亲密，每个人都很了解对方，都很就是认识对方也不会说我就是学校很大的时候呢，你可能只是跟这一个 group 的人，这一群人 hang out 在一起玩但是呢，如果我们学校小的话，每个人就是每天都见面，在食堂见面，在健身室，在参加那个运动的时候，都是不分年级的。所以呢，我觉得我的儿子呢，就是刚刚开学了，才一个月多吧，就已经交了很多好朋友，这样令到我感觉到，哎呀，真的就是做这个决定是对的。然后还有就是刚才我们也介绍过了，我们学校的这个建筑的这个风格，也是我就是我在找工作的时候吸引了我的一个地方。因为它这个风格很特别，让我感觉到我好像住在一个度假的一个地方，或者一个异国风情的一个地方。对，OK。Yeah, I'm done.
Wow, that's great. I think that's all the questions, and thank you for sharing about Fountain Valley School, and also all the the life and the experience there. I definitely feel Fountain Valley School could be a very good option for international student who wanted to like living kind of in the middle of the US, experience something different. Definitely, there is a lot of benefits and perks to do that. I think like the international student, also the ratio in your school is not high, and a good balance, a lot of support, a lot of great programs for the student. I think that's great. Yeah, I think then we will wrap up this, tonight event. Thank you for both of your time, to spend with our family, in the evening time. We will just keep in touch for, our students' application later on.
Okay,
Great.
no
Thank you,
problem.
Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for hosting. And 我
Yeah.
祝大家中秋节快乐，Happy Middle Autumn Festival.
Thank you. Okay,
好
bye.
拜拜。
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for everyone's participation in our 5th K-12 school fair. today is the last day of the event. So during the past, 5 days of event, we have the honor to, present, excellent schools to all the family. We hope you find the perfect school where you want your child to study. So our team is here to assist your family if you have any question. 那么感谢大家参加由InAmerica Education 主办的第5届 K-12学校校展哈。那么今天呢是我们校展的最后一场活动了。那么在过去的5天的活动当中呢，我们也是向大家展示了26所优秀的学校哈。那么来自于9个州，包括了寄宿学校、走读学校、混校和单性别学校。那么我们也希望呢，参加活动的这个家长通过我们的活动呢，更多的了解到不同学校，还有就是学校提供的不同的一个项目哈，在这个过程当中呢，能够找到咱们就是孩子将来期待去就读的适合自己的一个学校。那我们的团队呢也会在你们的这个申请的这个道路上为你们提供这样的一个帮助哈。所以呢，如果你们对于美国私校申请有任何的问题那么都可以去就是联系我们前面我们的老师也在群里分享了我们的联系方式也非常感谢大家的一个参与哈。我们期待呢我们在下一次的这个活动上跟大家再次的见面。那么也也祝大家中秋和国庆节快乐哈。这个接下来10几天的假期好好的享受一下家庭的这个时间非常感谢大家的时间。好，那我们就结束了我们的这个活动，再见。